Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Hi Kushit, good
Long
evening.
time
Can you hear
after which
me?
I'm. Good evening. Yes, sir, I can definitely hear you. It's
Great,
one
great.
of those rare times when I have my guest with me even before I'm there and much before the audience. Awesome, awesome. Welcome, sir. It's great to have you on board out here with me chatting live on Instagram Live.
Thanks,
Before I
Kushit.
do that, I always ask people one question makes me feel proud. Is this your first Instagram chat?
Yes, it is. It is, and you'll not
Yes.
believe me. I had my daughter right next to me, taking me
Mm-hmm.
through the login at least, and she just walked when I became live. So it is my very
Awesome.
first Insta chat.
That's like a feather in my cap. Every time I chat with somebody for the first time, it gives me
Sure
a
is,
very
sure is,
different kind of a thrill. Okay. In fact,
sure is,
I'm
sure
talking to
is.
you, so I'm even wearing a railway shirt. This shirt
Wow,
is
wow,
designed
that's
by
great.
Subhash Rao, my favorite
Yeah,
locomotive,
I
the
know.
WCM.
CM1,
I
yes.
Yes, it's like something I dream of the WCM one. I dream of it to come back on the railway tracks and rule as it used to do in the Central Railway at one time.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
actually fascinating. You
people,
see,
go on.
yeah, because having interacted with a few rail fans, I have come to believe that you don't have as many rail enthusiasts working into the railways as you
Right.
have actually outside.
Very
So
true,
the
very true.
that same enthusiasm is probably isn't as much prevalent and common in railwaymen. Most of us are
Uh,
actually doing a
that's
job.
That's quite true. That's quite true. I actually, that's what makes I feel not just in a rail fan, but even in general terms, this is what distinguishes a common man from the person who's holding his post. Because as I tell it, nothing towards the railways, but in general, that some people are just doing a job, while for some people it is a passion. So they actually live and breathe that particular subject.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
as I mean, locomotives, trains. In fact, I have people actually asking me, "You are an actor. You have a completely different profession. Why are you so crazy about trains? And why do I see railway posts on your Facebook and Instagram and other things?" So that's what I tell them, that for you it is just a coach or a metal box, or you don't care which locomotive is driving your train. But to me, it makes a whale of a difference, because I see life in it, I see form in it, and there is a history behind it, and everything
Yes.
has its own speciality.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
I need to introduce you to my audience. Okay, now I'm personally like in a state of shock reading all your things, although you very modestly said it's nothing. Uh, Mr. Rupesh Kohli was born and he studied in Varanasi, UP. After the 12th standard, that is 10 plus 2, he got through the Special Class Railway Apprentices, that is the SCRA exam, in 1991, and he joined the Indian Railway Institute of Mechanics and Electric Engineering. That's IRIMEE. This is in Jamalpur. He graduated from that in 1996 with a mechanical engineering degree from Engineering Council London, and after probationary training, he joined the railways as the assistant mechanical engineer in Chakradharpur, Southeastern Railway, as an IRSME officer. Subsequently, he completed an executive MBA from the IIM Ahmedabad. That was from the 2009 batch. And he majored in infrastructure, finance, and project management. And he's completed a postgraduate diploma course in computer applications and finance. Sir, I have come to learn that the human brain is just about this much in size. How do you manage to stuff so much inside?
No, you see, I'm
Is there
not, I'm
anything
sure
left
you would
still?
have, no, I'm sure you would have come across people who have done much, much more. In fact, I landed up with a job, if I may say so, quite early in my life. So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
rested on that particular job. And in fact, in my batch and people I know, they've done much, much more. So
Okay.
I guess because it's not very common for people now, at least of the new millennium, to stay in an organization for 20 plus years, and
Uh-huh.
most government servants actually do so. And the only thing with me slightly has been that along this, whenever I've had an opportunity, I've tried to sort of get into a course, try to learn something, and so that's it. But otherwise, I'm sure there would be people with much better qualifications and people who would have done more as well, professionally as well
So
as
that's
academically.
genuinely very humble, because I remember this is what I messaged you
No,
and I
no,
said,
not
"Oh
at
my
all.
God, I'm awestruck," and you said, "Oh, this is common. A lot of railway men, railway women do even better." But trust me, you just ask me a normal mathematical solution. You tell me 2 + 2 minus 6 + 6 into 5 + 3, and I start getting dizzy. So where I see this, there's like something here, something more. So I'm wondering, is there anything more left to study? Or is that all? Never done? Sorted?
No, 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 not really, Kushit. Depends on the opportunity. I don't know. I like picking up new things, so I don't know what. Professionally, of course, not much. If I do something, I'll do it for myself. But certainly, there is no limit to learning. There is no age to learning. So that is it.
True,
And
true.
plus,
Learning is a continuous process.
yeah, I wrote to you. There are a large number of people who actually pick up these additional qualifications as they move on. Depends on the opportunity that you get. I've been a
Right,
little
right,
lucky.
right.
I managed to get into an IIM and picked up that degree.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So somewhere it does come across that to the common man, it may just around appear as to the public in outside that it's just a post somebody is holding and they just have to manage it, and it's so simple to do whatever they are doing. But trust me, I guess after listening to all this, I'm sure there's a lot more of qualifications, nitty gritties, a lot more of detailing that goes into the post that is held by any person who we just kind of consider, oh, it's a very simple job.
Yeah, that's true,
Ah,
Kushit, because particularly with the railways, our job profile actually keeps changing. So,
yes, yes.
depending on where you're posted and what portfolio you're holding at that point of time, the work
Mm-hmm.
profile pretty much can be very, very different,
Mm-hmm.
even in the same station. For example, if you look at only my cadre, which is only the mechanical engineers, you
Right,
can actually be heading a workshop. Like in my current post, I'm actually looking after coaching maintenance and this thing, but there are people who's looking after diesel locomotives. So there's another post
right.
who's looking after only workshops. So I guess that job profile and the associated skills will it keep
Mm-hmm.
on changing as you move on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So since you mentioned the various cadres of people who are there, as a rolling stock, as the chief rolling stock engineer, what all is included in your portfolio? Would you include every single thing that's as a rolling stock, as in the coaches of the long distance trains, the EMU locals, the MEMUs, the diesel locomotives, electric locomotives, freighters? So does everything get included in your profile, or is it all handled differently?
No, it is slightly distributed between I think three of us. I
Yes.
look after the mainline coaches and the demo, the DMU
Mm-hmm.
trains.
Right.
There's another colleague of mine who looks after the EMU stock, which is the local trains, and the
Right.
MEMUs.
Right.
And there's a third colleague who looks after the diesel locomotives. So that is how it's kind of spread. And
Mm-hmm.
so my essentially my portfolio as CRSC is on the mainline coaches and
Mm-hmm.
all aspects of the mainline coaches, their maintenance, operations, and whatever comes along with it, their schedules and upkeep, whatever.
You mentioned diesel locomotives, demo, memo, and the EMUs. Uh, what about the electric locomotives? Who
Yeah,
looks
so
after that?
electric locomotives are looked after currently in the setup by the electrical set of engineers,
Right.
our counterparts in the electrical engineering department, and there
Okay.
they are distributed between a gentleman who looks after the electric locomotives, and there's another
Mm-hmm.
one who looks after the traction distribution
Right.
and general and then there would be someone who would be looking after the operations, which is essentially the crew,
Correct.
the loco pilots and the related issues with the crew and everyone else.
Correct. So this is a very well-made distribution of duties and portfolio.
Yes. Yeah, it is
Okay.
pretty well defined. It is pretty well
Hmm.
defined. There largely there aren't any overlap so that you have straight responsibilities fixed. But there could be a little amount of overlap. For example, in demo and memo, they are because they are similar kind of operations, so there could be overlaps. For example,
Right.
who's looking after the electrical EMUs is also looking after the electrical part of the main line coaches. So there is that
Ach-
overlap available. So there is a
Right.
little amount of overlap, but largely the responsibilities are pretty jacketed. So we have clear responsibilities.
Okay. So what made you decide the railways is what you wish to make your career in?
I
Was there
wish I
like
could,
hmm, hmm, hmm.
yeah, I wish I could have given a very kind of, so as to say, a romantic or an idyllic answer that I had a passion for railways or something of that sort. But railways typically, I do not know whether you come across a large number. Railways actually has a tendency of running in the blood. And for me
Uh-huh.
also, I'm a second generation railwayman. So my
Uh-huh.
father was in the railways, and I was
Uh-huh.
born, brought up in a railway environment in a railway colony. So
Hmm.
of course, while growing up, railways was a active career option. But at the same
Uh-huh.
point of time, if I am honest to all of people who joined and to you, I actually never wanted to land in a government job.
Uh-huh.
So every schoolmate of mine actually keeps on wondering when he keeps looking at me that what the heck are you doing in the government and how did you land up in government? Because all through my whatever informed, once you get a little kind of conscious about career decisions from maybe 8th, 9th, 10th onwards, every
Hmm.
person or every schoolmate I met with always rubbed off me saying that this guy is not certainly not coming to the government. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
had a strange set of views about the government, and no one in my school, at least who knew me, would have can actually believe that I've stayed. I first came to the government, and then stayed put for these many years. So
Okay.
railways was just by chance. It was there as a conscience. This thing because I was born brought up in a railway environment. But
Right.
it's pure destiny. Just destiny brought me to the railways, and I somehow stuck to it.
Okay. So from childhood, you didn't really have a passion for trains or like
Mm.
or see every train like mummy, 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 train dekho. That was not there.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember that kind like that is you see that's why Kushit I actually get fascinated with large number of real fans when I interact with them and when I see that I can't believe that there are real fans who actually give timetable suggestions and those timetable suggestions are not vague. They are detailed suggestions in which you have key this is these are the stations where we expect that it can stop, and this is how you can pool in this stock, and this is how the same rake can be utilized in this manner. I sometimes wonder whether that kind of a some because anyone who is doing this is not doing
Right.
it as a mainline job. He has a separate
Correct.
job and he's doing it as a
Yes.
passion. And to do it
Yes.
with that kind of a detail is something which amazes me. So to be honest, yes, there is more passion about railways outside. That's what I think.
I totally agree with you on this because despite being a rail fan, I don't think I would have even 10% of the knowledge which some of the rail fans do have, trust me. I mean, at which locomotive was in which year, what is the power, what is the electric traction,
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
the substation, where is what will you see where? To the extent
Mm.
they are passing a particular station and they actually are like, look out for this train now, look out for that train, you will be passing this one shortly, and the knowledge that is there within them, I'm like actually like यार मैं किधर फंसा हूँ इधर, मैं गलत काम, मैं गलत आदमी हूँ इधर. You know, it's a
You're
very
right,
awe
you're right.
inspiring thing, and they don't talk with train names, they don't talk with station names, they talk with station codes. Like
Codes,
they
yes.
will be like, oh, you'll be reaching SUR shortly, and you'll be at KOP shortly, and you'll be at CCH, and you'll be at CST. Initially, when I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if you heard of this guy, Kaushik Dharwadkar. But
Mm-hmm.
initially, Kaushik, Devraj, then Subhash, Samir. So a few of them, when I used to talk to them, they would always talk in railway codes. So whenever they spoke, I was first I had to mentally calculate. Oh, you said GTR. Okay, Grant Road. Ah, theek hai. Oh, acha, CYR, Churni Road. So that's how it goes in the mind, and that's how they talk. Even a train name, I'm like, यार तो ट्रेन का नाम लेके बात करेगा प्लीज बिकॉज दिट इज अ नंबर मैं पूना 12127 से जा रहा हूँ आई एम लाइक वो कौन सी गाड़ी है इनिशियली so it becomes it's like a rhythmic part of their system and
Correct.
and it's a very intriguing factor, no doubt about it. I have a house at
Yeah.
Grant Road which is banged outside the railway tracks, uh,
Mm-hmm.
just on the Grant Road West. So I have grown up seeing the trains all the time, right from 1975 in fact. So I have actually seen the trains just going past clack 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 continuously day in day out. I have seen Grant Road as it was when it was with crossovers and a mini terminus, sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Because, in fact, when we had a building crash way back in the 1980s, Akashdeep, the trains used to terminate at Grant Road and reverse from there. So at that time, it became a mini terminus.
Mm-hmm.
So I have had a very nice history with the railways as well, and that's how I guess I've eventually started breathing the railways because there was a shunting happening right across. We even had the parcel depot at Grant Road. So I
Yes.
have lived and breathed the railways right since my childhood. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I've grown to start loving the railways. But of course, my love for the WCM and the WCG2, also called the Howler, is like you can't like you. I think a rail fan wouldn't be able to miss that. I mean, people are dying to see the WCM one again. Would the Heritage Gully ever have the WCM return? That's my personal question.
Yeah, I think
Is it
we
possible?
are. Yeah, it is because WCM is available. They have it at the Calcutta Museum,
Yes,
and
even in
uh,
Delhi.
and even in Delhi. So, and if I remember correctly, they have more than one of them stationed over there. So, look, honestly, if I tell you, heritage as we handle it in the railways, uh, actually it needs to be handled a little more professionally and dedicatedly because
Very true.
it is not pastime or it is not a hobby because it requires serious
Mhm.
involvement in work.
Mhm.
It is also capital and it requires a little amount of capital because nothing happens without money, and
Mhm.
it needs to be handled a little more sort of given more prominence, especially
Mhm.
for railways which have a very rich heritage. For example, central, maybe western, southeastern, eastern, southern. These five, six railways which have a very rich heritage to preserve.
Right.
Maybe NCR or maybe ECR, although ECR too would be important, every railway would have its heritage and things to take care of. But
Mhm.
these four, five railways which I mentioned, I feel that if we need to have dedicated teams actually working rather than it being done in a typical sense, it's done like a hobby. So whenever you're free,
Right.
whenever it boils
Right.
over or something important happens or something of that sort, maybe a World Heritage Day or maybe a Heritage Week or something of that celebration kind of a thing, or maybe
Correct.
like the Heritage Gully. Now the Heritage Gully is an initiative that was taken by a particular uh, person leading the division. Now the tenure ends, the next incumbent feels that this is someone else's project now. So
Correct.
whatever gets improved gets added to it, or whatever it will
Correct.
remain that a gully was formed and this thing. So that is
Correct.
now how it would grow because
Correct.
everywhere you look at wherever there is heritage preservation being done, there are professionals at work, and
Correct.
it's a passionate field. Not only should you have a passion about it, it requires knowledge about it, requires a little amount of capital to be infused, and
Mhm.
it requires to be curated because it's like having, owning, developing and maintaining a garden.
Correct.
you can't simply dump it and then you say that it's done, or maybe have a celebration once a year or maybe twice a year, or light the
Correct.
locos up every 26th January and 15th of August and then kind of be done with it. So,
Yes.
WCM, of course, there was a very important and very huge demand that it should become part, because it is part of Central Railway's heritage and very important part,
Yes.
because
Yes. Yes.
more than the WCM being in Delhi or in Calcutta, the WCMs actually belong to us.
Yes. So I would
So
like
the
to just
W
make a small correction here. In fact, as Devraj points out, the WCM is stationed in Chennai and Calcutta. So I'm sorry on that because
okay,
it isn't Delhi, as
okay.
I told you earlier.
Yeah,
It's
Cal
Calcutta and Chennai.
and Chennai. Okay.
Yes, sir. As you were talking.
Yeah. So it actually belongs here. So we need to get this thing, because even if you look at the gully in its present form, probably
Right.
needs to be need for it to house more locomotives or bigger rolling stock. It actually needs to
Yes.
be developed further along the
Yes.
width.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think should happen. Should happen. Let's hope it happens.
Because the WCM as such had no doubt it initially in its heydays landed in Kolkata, but if subsequently it was unique and exclusive only to the CR altogether. So
Yes.
certainly CR is where it should be housed, is what I say the same thing. I in fact had visited along with another rail fan, Devraj Malekar, the Heritage Gully when it was just introduced, and
Mm-hmm.
we did see the Khekra as it is called, then these other old coaches, the WCG2, and I mean it was a very nostalgic feeling just going through all of them over there, seeing them up close after ages. So, what exactly brought about the Heritage Gully? I mean, how did the Heritage Gully come about to being out there?
Actually, the Bombay division was actually looking at setting up a museum, and they were looking at different sites. So we have a basic training center which is at Wadi Bandar. I do
Uh-huh.
not know whether you had a chance to go over there. It's a departmental training center that we have, and it is uh, actually behind the Wadi Bandar coaching depot. So, and it has a reasonable area which is available. So
Yes.
that it also houses a couple of older things. For example, it has a Neral Matharan older coach which they have put, and then they have some older coaches which is there for training purposes or something of that sort.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so the plan was to kind of develop a slightly more elaborate museum, but then it was felt, the division felt actually ki the approach to that place is not very friendly, especially for the outsiders, because
Mm-hmm.
the Wadi Bandar thing, if you need to approach, you either come through the Dimelo Road entrance and get into the coaching depot and then go all the way over there, or even if
Mm.
you take the local train, you need to get down the bridge and then cross the
Correct.
tracks and stuff like that. So the
Correct.
approach wasn't there, and this part of CSMT was it actually had a lot of land, but was not
Right.
being utilized to that extent. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
the division came up with this idea, and the approach over there, because it had a very elaborate road approach, so that also kind of helped in terms of these rolling stock being moved. And
Mm-hmm.
there was, of course, this decision that whether we build sheds out of it and we house them in covered accommodation, or build some temporary shelters kind of a thing, so that there is a covered shed available. And
Mm-hmm.
then it was felt that let's begin this way. And like I said, you see, all of these projects after an initial gestation require to be curated. So I'm
Correct.
sure people who are going or who happen to go in some frequency to the Heritage Gully would find
Yes.
that the maintenance needs a little amount of push up, and it's
Okay.
it's it's not it's not just stationing those coaches or those rolling stock. but we need to
Correct.
keep them in a reasonable shape, and uh, also provide regular attractions, because
Correct.
otherwise, as it is railway heritage slightly, because it is technical in nature.
Haji.
It for the general public, it becomes a little, unless of course you are as informed as a rail fan or you're as passionate as a rail fan. For the general public, it becomes a little, maybe a repetitive or a boring thing to do.
Right.
So you
Right.
need to have it or develop it in an attractive manner for all kinds of people, for a
Mhm.
little bit of detail and a little bit of specific things for people who know about things and were passionate about it as rail fans or similar people,
Oh.
and then for general people as well. So
Mhm.
I think if you would point is that a dedicated effort or a dedicated team will probably be able to do it. It's not rocket science.
Right. Right. So unlike something what we usually see around, you have actually taken the initiative more than once to take public surveys, public opinions, inputs from passenger associations, media. You have done surveys, especially most prominent being the Deccan Queen livery and in its new avatar. So, what is the main reason? What gave you that idea to think out of the box in a different manner?
You see, to be honest about it, I've had a small experience, a little experience of working in design and
Mhm.
in different designs. And I worked in design for both diesel locomotives, for wagons, and I did not get an opportunity to work in coach design, but I worked in coach operations. And
Right.
everything, or a common thing which I felt right across, built for the customer.
Right.
Now, if you build a, let's say, let me give you an example. If you build a double decker, right?
Hmm.
Now you can build a fantastic design which will carry 200 people,
Mhm.
and in your perspective, you may be developing a great design. But if you do
Correct.
not take it to the customer before you bring it to the tracks,
Mhm.
then you miss something which is extremely important for the customer. You may
Correct.
stuff 200 people inside a coach, but
Mhm.
then people may not be interested in traveling like cattle herds.
Correct.
And although you may do your calculation and do everything else, but I'm not too sure that. So I've always felt that yes, you need to do your technical part. There, you don't need the customer to advise you. But
Mhm.
for areas where actually the customer interaction comes in,
Mhm.
the customer needs to be interacted with. And
Mhm.
like I told you, I got this experience of working with Railfans and getting to know about it only through representations which had come. So when I
Mhm.
started working as CRSE in Central, I got a large number of representations from different sources, mostly my operating colleagues. And
Mhm.
almost all the time there was this disclaimer कि सर इसको देख लेना, ये आते रहते हैं, but आप इसको
Mhm.
एक बार देख लेना.
Right.
So, with this kind of a hint given, ki let's not be too serious about it. They keep coming, and let's deal them accordingly.
Mhm.
So, I somehow, whenever I interacted, I felt that the person on the other side certainly
Mhm.
knows more than me. For the
Mhm.
problem that he has highlighted, this guy knows
Mhm.
more, and it was kind of, it was like library suggestions. It was like the ladder which we have not been able to solve. It was like
Mhm.
destination boards. It was like uh, the door entry. It was like how to make our coaches more accessible for differently abled people, and all these suggestions were something which I personally felt that they were coming from people who were well informed. They knew
Right.
of the constraints, they knew of the platform heights, they knew of the door constraints, they knew of something called the SOD, and it was then
Right.
that they were suggesting something.
Correct.
So even in the case of Deccan Queen, when the original proposal came for converting it to LHP,
Right.
There was an internal note which sort of said that we should do away with the restaurant car
Mm-hmm.
and convert it as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of raised an alarm inside me that this will, because we were facing the Panchvati problem at that point of time. And
Right.
Panchvati, after conversion, had, instead of earning us a brownie points or maybe some brownie points, actually had become a major embarrassment. And
Yes. Yes.
all for the right reasons. So it was
Yes.
all real reasons which were highlighted by the customers who were using it. And
Yes.
so we were very, this time around, we were very wary. And this
Yes.
time around, actually, thankfully, when I raised it up, people in the decision making actually grew a little wary that Deccan Queen is a little too prestigious to tinker with. So
Yes.
let's give it a little amount of thought and let's take some inputs. And of
Yes.
course, the remaining part of trying to get into the public and doing all those online surveys or Google Forms or whatever, that was something that I did on my own because that was the only way to get some inputs and also keep a record of it that I am getting an
Right.
input. To my slight luck, actually, no one stopped me from doing it. I had
Mm-hmm.
someone senior to me told me, yeah, don't get into this nonsense, then I may not have been able to do it, to be very honest about it. Thankfully, it didn't
Mm-hmm.
happen. And when I did it and kind of shared it after I had done it, people, I didn't, to be very honest about it, didn't get fired about it. So
Mm-hmm.
kind of got emboldened and took that further. And the Deccan Queen library. Of course, all that effort is actually not kind of, even till now, it has not resulted into anything physical. For
Mm-hmm.
example, the status today is that the NID library scheme has actually been criticized by rail fans, and it's
Yes. Yes.
actually more most for most people, all that survey and everything else has actually gone down the tube, and they're not. In fact, it's kind of become a poor experience in the sense that first you took inputs and then you did not decide to incorporate those inputs. So, so, so kind of not really on the ground. It's not materialized, and because
Mm-hmm.
of our insistence on the board taking a call on the dining car, although the Intercity has already got converted into LHB, the Deccan
Yes.
Queen hasn't. So even today, even during this lockdown, while some trains did get converted, the Deccan Queen is still in its older avatar, and it is that call on dining car has still not been taken.
I that's quite true. In fact, many a person keeps on asking me in, one question. A lot of rail fans ask me to ask about, which you can certainly refuse to answer. It's your choice. But is that when is the Deccan Queen getting LHB-fied and what's the livery? So if that's one question which you've partially already answered that, no doubt. But this is something that every rail fan is currently having its own niggle about. That what is the actual livery going to be and when is it getting LHB-fied? Somewhere I feel by June 1, 2021 is perhaps going to be its good day.
Yeah, actually, to just share an internal thing to you, ICF has written to the board saying that the LHP rake for Deccan Queen was part of their production plan last year, and
Mm-hmm.
that was the only rake that they were not able to produce because of this final clearances not being received from by them from the board.
Right.
Our GM, that is the GM Central, has also written to board saying that you need to get you at least take a decision on what you need to do with the Deccan Queen because we desperately want it to get converted to LHP library or no
Correct.
library or the standard LHP library or whatever you decide, but take a call on it. The library
Mm-hmm.
which the board has so far communicated is the one which I had shared earlier with rail fans, and that's the NID design which NID has finalized, and NID has actually uh, given the board a couple of options. In fact, they had given some four sets of option, and each of those had three further designs So there was an array of around 12 different designs which NID had suggested, and the board have then selected one of those library designs. So on paper, as of now, the design which has been shared earlier is what's the library that's been decided. Of course, there was a little amount of uh, backlash, if I may say so, or questions raised by the rail fans. And based on that, board is again seized of the matter. They've not put it on paper so far that they're revising it. But because the decision on the pantry cum restaurant car is still pending with the board, so till that decision finally gets taken, the LHB conversion is actually held up. And once that decision is taken, ICF is more than ready with the with the drawings and the designs, because we have interacted with the ICF quite regularly, and in fact the pantry cum restaurant car wasn't available on the LHB platform, and a new design had been made. And I do not know whether you know or the Royal fans know, even the existing restaurant car cum dining car which is there on the Deccan Queen, that is also an internal Central Railway design. So there is no standardized design per se, because that's the only restaurant car apart from our tourist trains. So apart from a Deccan Odyssey or a Palace on Wheels, there are no restaurant cum dining cars in any other train. So even this is a Central Railway design, and based on that, we had given inputs and we had worked with ICF to develop this design. RDSO got into it. RDSO made a number of changes to it, and finally RDSO had approved it quite some time back. And so RDSO has actually approved the dining cum restaurant car design, and it's with the board for some time now. We've been following it up, so we should hopeful that in fact in last week itself I had again kind of reminded board. So that's something that to be very honest about, because I've put a little amount of personal thing into it, I really want to get that done. Because you see, I was just going through, because the lockdown has given us some time to kind of think on other lines. There are in fact there are only 4 trains which have served at least 4 Central Railway trains which have been in operations for more than 50 years. Just 4 of them.
Okay.
Right. So the Punjab Mail, the 12137, which is the Amritsar Express, which was earlier called the Peshawar Express, the Deccan Queen, and the Neral Matharan. So these are the only 4 coaching services which have been in existence for more than 50 years. So I personally feel that these need to be having a mark of their own. And similarly, other railways, for example, the Western has the Frontier Mail, they have the Flying Rani. So these trains are icons. So, and we need to have that pride ourselves first, and then we want our customers also to be having that pride, to feel that they're traveling a different train. And I believe the easiest thing to do for at least that is to have a different livery and a different interior. That is the easiest thing to do apart from anything else. You may have a problem ticketing, you may have a problem providing onboard service, you may have a problem in terms of everything else. But this is probably an easiest thing that yes, it will require an initial effort or whatever, but then once that is done, it is not too difficult to maintain that, and then also give that feel.
In fact, if it's a different livery, it's easy identification and it sets the train apart from the rest around. So you instantly tend to understand the train much better. So should we expect any of these other trains, like even say the Amritsar Express, as we just spoke about it, to show us a different, to flaunt a different livery compared to the other trains around?
I'm not too sure, Khushit, because external livery is is a ministry's decision, is a railway board
Decision.
decision.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
operationally, it is actually kind of complicates a little amount of thing because coaches get circulated between themselves.
Yes.
There are maintenance
Mismatched.
schedules and other things which happen, and a
Okay.
particular library design actually puts a little amount of constraint into that. But
Yes.
like I said, because of the inherent value involved, because
Yes.
of the inherent value involved in it, and because of each railway having maybe, like I said, Central being the oldest railway, has just
Correct.
four of its train. So
Correct.
all you need to do is to have four trains which you treat differently.
Correct.
So
Correct.
for anyone for a railway, for example, I have 134 services if I just count them in terms of trains, not rakes, but in terms of trains. So, and I'm not counting passengers and I'm not counting demos. So if I have around 100, and out of those 130, I need to have four in which I kind of accord a special status, then why not? And these days, as it is, there are a large number of options available. We are doing vinyl wrapping, doing exterior painting.
Correct.
There is technology available. There are designs available. There are designers available, and more importantly, like in the case of Deccan Queen board and everyone else, because when we shared and the midday covered it, one question which kept coming up is how much has the railway spent in developing the libraries?
Correct.
And the answer which no one actually believed was that we have spent nil. All the library designs which had been suggested to the board by Central Railways had come from rail fans.
True.
Subhash and everyone else, and the number of people who had contributed, and we had kind of
Yes.
put them together. And for everyone who had kind of suggested a design, I had myself spoken to that person, communicating ki boss, there is no commercial part involved in this, and even if the design gets selected, I'm not very sure in terms of the commercial obligation, whether the railway is going to honor it, not honor it, or do what. And it was very, very forthcoming. No one, not a single person who contributed, told me that they're looking for anything. They say, sir, if the design gets, or even an element of the design gets incorporated, that is good enough for us. But you somehow brand it differently. Don't
Correct.
just convert the Deccan Queen into an LHB train, brand it differently.
Correct. Correct.
Because that is what everyone needs. Even in the case of NID, of course, NID, we have a railway chair which they undertake railway projects. So under that railway chair, that team actually took up this project. But even with NID, there was no particular, we didn't sign a contract even with NID to develop these library designs. So the press
Correct.
was actually a little disappointed with this fact that so far we have not spent anything in developing these library designs.
How does it feel to be working in a heritage building, a UNESCO
Yeah,
building? How do
again,
you
Kushik,
feel? Do you get that feel of royalty when you go to it every day?
yeah, there are both kinds of feeling, to be very straightforward and honest about it. When we were in probation, we have a year and a half, an 18 months period, which we called a probationary training period, in which the railway officers who are to join the railways are put through a training module at different places. So during that training phase was the second time that I had come to Mumbai. The first time was as a kid, and during that training phase, our training instructor who had come along with us, he had taken us along that staircase on the heritage building, and he had said that if you do well and you are lucky, then one day you will have an office in this building. So
Okay.
that is the pride which gets associated, and that is something that you feel every time you get into that building or you move out of that building, or even if you're going along with a family and your youngest kid kind of points it out through the window saying कि पापा ये आपका office है. and you have that pride. And while while I'm saying so, I also I have no kind of this thing in sharing that also the way that we occupy that building is something which also pains me, because it is a treasure. To be
Yes.
very honest about it, it's an
Yes.
icon and it's a treasure, and
Yes.
we need to be very very careful, and we need to be much more uh, careful the way that we are
About how
using
we
it,
use it
because
and how we
because
use
it
it.
is not something which will last forever, and
True.
it needs to be preserved, and it is being preserved, and it is being kept in a reasonable shape. But like in most thing, we can probably do a do a better job at it. So, like I said, you see, the point is because Central Railway has so many heritage treasures.
Yes.
Heritage for Central Railway cannot be a part-time involvement. We
True.
require we
In fact,
require
we
one. Yes.
yes, yes, yes. In fact, we require one.
Yeah, in fact, I feel we require, in fact, I've proposed it internally also, that we require someone dedicated who takes care of heritage issues of Central Railway and also owns up the heritage building.
Correct.
Uh,
Correct.
so that I believe later or sooner, maybe powers that be may decide about it, and there would be someone who will take that call.
Do you, when you talk about heritage, would you say the dining car of the Deccan Queen, which is the only one in the country, apart from, of course, the luxury trains like the Deccan Odyssey and the others, but as in a regular passenger train, the Deccan Queen is the only one which flaunts a dining car. Others have a pantry car, not a dining car. So, would you say that this also is something that's a kind of a heritage in itself and should be preserved?
It would be. It would certainly be. In fact, there are board guidelines that one coach of every type, irrespective of the class and irrespective of the service, if it is
Mhm.
being taken off or is being condemned, at least
Yes,
one coach of that type needs to be preserved by every railway. So that is what, in fact,
that's good
board
news.
also, yeah,
Yes,
board also kind
that's
of,
something nice
yes.
that
So
yeah, that's something nice the rail fans would in fact be more happy to hear about. In fact, it means a lot.
yeah, so that is there, but at the same time, you see, the point is that, for example, even if this particular dining car, if the LHP conversion happens and this dining car becomes sort of spare and can be pulled out, now it needs to be,
Hmm.
it just cannot be straight. If you simply station it at some place, let's say put it at Heritage Gallery, it will just become an artifact. But there has to
Correct.
be a further initiative to continue to make it into a live restaurant or whatever, and convert it so that it stays in its shape.
Yes. Yes.
And then there could be nostalgia which can become
More
part of
meaning
it,
to
and
it.
there could be
Correct.
a, like you say, a more meaning attached to it. So
Correct.
needs need,
Correct.
needs that effort. Needs that effort.
Correct. In fact, I will, I mean, talk going in praise of the Central Railway. Undoubtedly, CR has always had some of the best liveries, as I can recall, even on the locomotives. At one point of time, since I was a kid, I used to see a variety of liveries on the locomotives out there and on Central Railway, especially. And the Kalyan Kashed used to be doing a great job on that. More or less today, because of guidelines, the libraries are the same and there are not many changes made. The last change that I can recall was probably on the Tejas locomotive when we had them exclusively for them. And hopefully some similar thing may be repeated even on the DQ. So which was your, if you had a favorite train in your childhood, which was your favorite train?
Oh, one particular train that I particularly sort of liked and also have traveled a number of times. Of course, apart from the much fantasized and much loved Rajdhanis and Shatabdis, was the Himgiri Express. And
Uh-huh.
because I stayed at Varanasi, and uh, we had regular trips to both Lucknow and also to Jammu, because that's where our relatives stayed. And Himgiri, I was fascinated by, first of all, its speed, because I actually loved that train in terms of the time it took, because it was at one point of time the only train which took around or just about 5 hours from Varanasi to Lucknow, and every other train actually at that point of time took 6 and 6.5. So that was one thing which fascinated me, and that was probably the first train that I came across which had a multi. So I immediately kind of, not knowing too much about it, I associated that multi with its speed, and I loved it that this particular train. So I've traveled it a number of times. I can't remember how many times. Not, and I've in fact even traveled foot plated once. I came into service because of my fascination in it. I foot plated also on Himgiri. So that is another thing that I've done. So
So which would be
that
your
you
current
just asked.
favorite? Which is your current favorite on
My
IR?
current
If you can't, hmm.
No, my current favorite today is the Nagpur Duronto, because again, Nagpur Duronto had a lot of problems, and it became a train that I began to concentrate on uh, because of the problem of the hybrid coaches it had. Because when I had
Yes.
taken over, we had large number of failures happening all around. I did not have spare coaches, and I started looking into Nagpur Duronto. And then, in fact, the LHB conversion was also pushed. We also pushed it at the board level that we really wanted to get this converted. And since its conversion, again, in the conversion, ICF, we literally bulldozed ICF into giving us those bezel-less coaches. Although they cautioned us that साले spare नहीं मिलेगा और फिर तुम शीशे टूटेंगे और फिर तुम कंप्लेंट करोगे वगैरह वगैरह, but still we pursued them, pursued board ki hame le lene do. We got those bezel-less AC coaches also, and so, and again, that particular train also, in fact, to just share an internal thing, over Central Railway I spent as CRSE maybe a little more than 3 years. But just to get a feel of my trains, I've always traveled in the services which have been provided, and I've traveled all classes. So I've traveled AC first, I've traveled sleeper class to get a feel of it, to know
Yes.
the problems that we are facing and everything else.
Yes.
And Duronto again stands out in that both the transformation from the hybrid and the to the Duronto to the LHP, and it is also there are very few Durontos who actually have a non-AC class in it.
Non-AC coaches.
So
Yes. Yes.
so Central even after the conversion actually has a non-AC composition also as part of the Duronto.
Yeah. In fact, that
So
was the
that
first time I realized it was the Nagpur Duronto, because I was like, no, this can't be a Duronto. It's got non-AC coaches. And I was
non-AC,
told,
yeah,
no, it
yeah.
is the Nagpur one, because it has a blend of both.
It is.
Quite interesting to hear about that. Um, huh. Okay. So there is a question which I've been asked to get an insight into. How does the Mazgaon or the Wadi Bandar shed manage the cleaning of the coaches, keeping in mind the SOPs by the government? It's quite a massive task, limited things around. Is it possible to hear anything on that?
So you're talking of the Mazgaon depot particularly, or the Mazgaon and the Wadi Bandar depot?
Mazgaon and or the Wadi Bandar.
Yeah, so I'll talk about the two of them separately. The Mazgaon depot is actually a pretty old depot, and there the maintenance per se that we face is only, there are some issues which we face during the rainy months, because the maintenance pit at the Mazgaon depot get inundated with rainwater which gets accumulated in that area. So that's a problem that we face, and in fact, we tried again to share an internal thing. We had tried to execute a work in which we were trying to improve upon the pits which were available, but the casting which is available, वो अंग्रेजों के ज़माने की casting जो है वो टूटने का नाम नहीं लेती आजकल के इंजीनियर से. So, in fact, that work had to be shot close, saying कि साहब ये this is too much of an effort of breaking the older thing and putting or increasing the depth of it and improving the drainage. So Mazgaon, of course, we are facing. Plus, there is an issue in terms of both the length and the curvature which are available.
Yes.
Because as you are aware, the LHB coaches are slightly longer, and we are progressively moving to regular 21, 22 coach lengths compositions in even LHB. So
Yes.
there we are facing those issues at the Mazgaon thing. And that's the reason Vadibandar depot has been recently over the last 2 years been upgraded. We have 6 more maintenance lines now come up at Vadibandar, and
Right.
progressively we are moving to make Vadibandar the main hub of the maintenance operations. Vadibandar and LTT, of course. So LTT continues to be there, but for all the remaining this thing for trains which are currently at Mazgaon or at Dadar or even at the CST depot, Vadibandar will probably be the hub. But like
Okay.
I said, it is a function of how many more trains come in, and how efficient the placement of the trains can be in these places. But the
Okay.
Vadivandar depot does not face most of these issues. Both in terms of drainage, it is much better. The infrastructure is much better, and we have a problem of little amount of curvature in Vadivandar also, because that's also not a linear depot, but not as much as in, let's say, Dadar or Mazgaon.
Sir, I have roughly just about 1 more minute left before Instagram decides to cut us off. One thing I like, I just want to quickly ask you: is there any um, please share some information about CR Rajdhani coaches being fit for push-pull operation? CR Rajdhani is already running in push-pull mode, to the
Yes, it
best of
is.
my knowledge. Unlike the initial heydays, so CR Rajdhani was the pioneer or the first Rajdhani, in fact, to be running in a push-pull mode across the country. And as people used to say, it is nothing short of a rocket. Well, sir, I don't really have any more time. I've hardly got a few seconds. Thank you so much for being with us. It was great
Thank
learning
you,
all
Kushi.
about the Deccan Queen and much more about the CR and other things. Some other time, some other session, we'll definitely have a little more chat. Thank you so much,
Sure.
audience, for being a part of
So,
us. Thank you so much, Sir Rupesh Kohli, to give me some of
thank
your
you so
time
much, Kushi.
and sharing time with us.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so much.
once
Thank
again.
you everyone for joining. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Have a happy Diwali and New Year.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.